Good morning. It is Tuesday, 2 days after I had the pleasure of attending a YouTube meet. Say, what is a YouTube meet? Well, it's a bunch of YouTubers that have channels. We got together and we're there to get to know each other and to support each other. And I will get and tell you about the support in a little while. So where did we meet? So we met at Bordner'S cabin. Bordner'S cabin is in between Pine Grove and Lickdale, Pennsylvania. If I was to be coming down from Pine Grove, then I'd be on 443, and right after Twin Grove Camping Resort, then there is a left in Sand Sliding Road. And if you were coming up on 443 after the Waterville Bridge, then it would be before the Twin Grove campgrounds. So you get into the parking lot. Well, if you don't have any other information about it, get into the parking lot, park your vehicle, walk back to Sand Sliding Road, look where you came from, and walk left. Walk into a bridge, cross the Swatara, and take the next two lefts, and within 20 minutes to a half an hour you will have arrived at Bordner'S cabin. So, Bordner'S cabin. Who was Bordner? Armour J. Bordner. He was born 1904. Passed away in 1990 at 90 years old. He was a retired shop teacher and draft teacher at Lebanon High School, and worked there for many years until his retirement. In around 1936 or so, he was, 33 years old, and he decided he wanted to build a shack somewhere. Maybe a hunting shack, a hunting cabin for hunting and fishing. And when he came upon the waterfalls he saw, and he saw that he had an opportunity to build something there, he decided he was going to build a home instead of a shack or a cabin. And so for 2.5 years, with the help of his uncle and his students at school, he built himself a home there below the waterfalls. So you can see I have moved off my garden bench, and now I am, well, I guess you can call this a part of the perennial garden. Behind here is some wood sage. Behind that is a perennial called Niger, Niger. And next to that, then there is a salvia. You can see the white salvia there. There'll be some irises coming up here. There's the northern sea oats back in here. Well, anyway, enough of that. So, how do we support each other? Well, one way, you get into some of these channels and you see Bordner'S cabin, you may see some of us on that video. Like for instance, maybe you'll see a hiker doodad, and he'll come on and he'll tell you a little bit about his channel. Or you may see somebody possibly might be me. You might see me on it, okay? And I'll tell you a little bit about my channel. That is one way. The way I'm going to do it is I'm just beginning to tell you a little bit of history about Bordner, about the cabin. And while I do so, then I'm going to incorporate some, I'm going to give you some names of the YouTubers were there in their channel. And I'll put it up so that you can see it. And then you can go back and you can look at them and support them that way. Check their channel out. They're all different areas of the state. And I'm sure you will enjoy them. So who was there? Who did I meet? Let me first say that all of us like nature. So we're nature channels. State parks, preserves, hiking trails, vistas, lakes, gardens, kayaking. We do it all. I met Hiker Doodad. I mentioned him earlier. I believe he is from down in the around the Philadelphia area. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But you know, he's all over the place. He's a wonderful filmer. All the state parks. He enjoys state parks. He also does a gear review too. He did one I watched about rain gear. You know, the importance of getting the right rain gear and not getting caught and being cold or get wet and be cold. So yeah, check him out. There's also DAYHIKE Dave. He is from out west, out in the Altoona, Pittsburgh area, I believe. And with him is a gentleman all the time by the name of Bob. Bob is a photographer, and he does a lot of his stuff on Facebook. So he does Pennsylvania hikes, and he does biking, and he did a biking camping trip, which was great. He did a trail out in Raystown Lake. I enjoyed that because we had vacation there a couple of years ago. I wasn't on that trail, but I knew the area from being out there. There's also a gentleman, Two Souls Outdoor. Now he is, he's in around, he's there, he's a good one to watch too. Two Souls Outdoors, yep, he's good too. Good morning. It is Wednesday. The Wednesday after the YouTube meet. I have my coffee sitting in front of Wagila. Pollinators love it. To the right and left of me I have mountain mint. In the center here's some milkweed. And I see the milkweed is blooming. There'll be tithonia coming in. Some dahlias. It's a nice place to be. So, back to Mr. Bordner. 1936, 1937, 39, he's building a cabin. His uncle is getting trees, oak trees. Mighty fine lumber to build a cabin, to build a home. His uncle Hond the logs. H-E-W-N, Hond. He made the logs fit together securely. Can't get anybody to do that today. And as you will see, then I'll show you a picture of it as you would see if you're coming up the driveway. And Mr. Bordner also, Armour also, he got stone, cut the stone himself for especially his stone place, his fireplace, and he built that all by himself. So, 1939, gone on 1940, and it's ready to move in. Not completely done, but it's ready to move in. And his wife, what about his wife? What did she think? Well, he said she was a city girl. I wasn't quite sure. And if she was anything like my wife, the question may have been, you want me to move in where? Now picture this. From where the cabin is, down to where any Lickdale is 7 or 8 miles along the Swatara Creek. And I want you to take a look at some of the videos as they're walking into Bordner's on some of the videos you'll be watching. And you can see how rustic it is. You can see how out far it is. 7 or 8 miles to get to their cabin. And in 1939 or so, they moved in. So who else was there? Simply Explo-venturing. And I'll write that up again for you to see. Nature, hiking, biking. He does it all. If you like Washington, D.C., he just put out a video. He has just been down into Washington, D.C. So you can shut the television off tonight and watch his channel of Washington, D.C. There was a gentleman by the name of Matt. He told me his channel was PA-Adventure. And when I tried to look it up and find a little information about him, I just couldn't find anything. So Matt, if you are watching this, let me know by comment or send me a link of something, and I'll tune into your channel, and then I will let each of us know about that. And while I'm on that, if anybody, as I go through there and I have missed anybody, please do the same, and I will get you on another video. And then there's Grace Garden. Grace is from down in the Easton area. She's a florist, a gardener, a kayaker, loves camping. I watched a movie, I watched a film of her out on a lake, and she had just gotten on the lake when it was all misty, and so she's kayaking with her dog on a misty lake, and the music is outstanding. So Carol, if you are, do you hear this? I thank you very much. I enjoyed that the other morning sitting in my garden. It was fantastic. I'm sitting here after dinner, after a coffee, sitting here waiting for the honeysuckle to bloom. This ought to go up all around here for nice and bloom for a while. So while I am waiting, I might as well tell you more about Mr. Bordner. So the 1940s came and the 50s came and the 60s came, and him and his family had a wonderful time there, improving their home. Spending time on their property. And so many mornings, he would wake up and hear the cascade of the waterfalls out his window. And he'd hear the birds chirping, the woodpeckers looking for shelter. It was his haven. Eventually, probably in the 1960s, then he retired. The waterfalls, named after a fellow by the name of Agrippa, a colonel. He worked for the Union Canal, and so therefore they named the falls after Agrippa Falls. And you may see in the video, or if you go out there or have been out there, you may see Agrippa Falls engraved into a stone. Come on down. So good afternoon. It is Thursday, the Thursday after the YouTube meetup on Sunday, and I am in my outer garden. I guess you could say in front of the swaying grasses. I put these in last year. I had made some changes. It used to be more of a flower pollinator garden in here, and I'll show you a picture or two. I did this just for a change. It's always a change in the garden. The last couple of days we have had a hazy, smoky, burny taste in our mouth, and the smell of fire. And the newspaper yesterday morning told us that it is a forest fire up in Canada blowing in, and all the smoke and all is blowing in from New York. And such a problem that my grandson's Teener baseball game was canceled. So, YouTubers. Who else did I meet? Craig KOPPEL, out in the Easton Way, Lehigh Valley. He's soon going to retire, and he will give us a lot of videos probably from out in that area. He has some up already, so tune into him, subscribe. It was great to meet him. It was great to talk to him. I also met Random Adventures 2.0. I had saw his videos last year. He was making grilled cheeses for the Appalachian Trail hikers, and he made some good videos, and the hikers loved the grilled cheese and they really liked him, and I appreciated it because I have been helping the Appalachian hikers out for over 30 years now. So that was great. I tuned back into him, and I see that he is doing a series. He has a series up traveling across America. He did it by his vehicle, and on probably all of the nights he slept in his vehicle. It's interesting. He is a natural. He certainly does not act what you see as his natural self. He's one heck of a nice guy. I met him. His name is Tony. And so check him out. Get into his channel, subscribe, support him. Back to Armour Bordner. So it was the 60s, into the late 60s. And they started hearing these rumors about a state park coming in. State Swatara Park. And he was afraid of losing his home. He was afraid of eminent domain. All those years of work for them to take it just wasn't right. And then in 1971, then his wife passed away. So it must have been sad times for Armour. Trials in his life. But he fought for his home in 1977. He gained the right to live in his home and did so then for the next, 17 more years. He lived in it until 1994, and he passed away. He passed away in his bed. The bed was by his picture window. He could see the waterfalls out that. And that's where he passed away at 90 years old. Armour Bordner. Well, I'm going to finish this long video by sitting back here on the bench. Who else was there? Well, I have heard this gentleman been called the most famous nature YouTuber in Pennsylvania. Can anybody guess who that was? Who did I see at the YouTube meet? The Wandering Woodsman. It was great to see him. He has helped me out through contact with him. I've never met him, but I did on Sunday, and it was really great to see him. Do I have to say anything more? The Wandering Woodsman. And lastly, the one who put this all together, this meet all together, and this has been an accomplishment for him, and he is very excited about it, is ZOLNA. And I thank him very much because it has been a pleasurable experience. This quiet guy, Quiet John, meeting all those YouTubers. ZOLNA. Epic videos, somatic videos. He just puts on such a great video that there's another one. You can just shut your television off and put him on, and it is fantastic. He's all over the state too. He's good. He is really good. Check him out. Yes. So, like I said, it is a long video. Maybe it's something that you want to put on while you're watching a baseball game. Maybe if you're watching the Phillies, put this on. If something catches your mind, well, then you could pay attention to it. I don't normally like to make these long videos, but this is how it came out. And it's been a wonderful project. I thank you all for watching it. I thank you very much for any subscription you give me, and everybody else give us that support. So, thank you.